Gemini, welcome back to the Renaissance Tarot. Welcome to your funny and your most favorite Armenian guy, where I serve and I slay. Today, dear Gemush, I'm going to be doing your twin flame reading for the month of January 2026. And this is going to be a very specific reading, so it may resonate with you and it may not. Now, in this twin flame reading, dear Gemini, I am going to put the gem in Gemini because, I woke up feeling extra fly. I'm going to be taking a look at your recent past, present, and future. I'm going to see what is the main energy and the challenge between you and your twin flame, your spiritual twin. Not your other twin, but your twin flame. And I'm also going to clarify all the cards, get some final advice, and I will also close off with the Wisdom of the Oracle card to provide a relationship advice. Gemini, let's see what's going on. I'm in your head, I'm on your mind. You know I'm a Gemini. I put the gem in Gemini. Somebody said in the last video, your Gemini intro is growing on me. Girl, are you serious? Like, it should have been growing on you for a long time. Gemini is pretty much the only sign that gets this kind of an introduction. So, enjoy it. So the energy between you and your twin flame is the High Priestess. And what you don't see coming at the bottom of the deck, Gemini, you have the King of Pentacles, followed by the Queen of Cups and the Lovers. Ooh, that's exciting. Just have to cover them up a little bit, Gemini. Okay, so High Priestess. Indeed, this is a spiritual connection. When the High Priestess shows up as the overall energy and also as a challenge, I see here big question marks on your head, Gemini. You have a lot of question marks. The High Priestess, a lot of times it talks about secrecy, hidden things, question marks, big question marks. A lot of you have been questioning if this is your twin flame. You have been trying to really understand what does the future hold for me and this person that I consider to be as a twin flame. A lot of questions on your mind. The High Priestess also in the twin flame reading indicates spirituality and a spiritual connection. So a lot of you watching me are tarot readers, Reiki healers. You're very multifaceted and multidimensional as a sign, okay, in general. So for many of you, you have felt something very spiritual with this person, that you believe this is your twin flame connection. However, you do have a lot of big question marks. I'm talking to a group of Geminis who have, these questions on their head, okay, above their head. We're going to talk about this, okay, when we clarify. Now, in the recent past, you have the King of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Gemini, when you met this twin flame of yours, could have been a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, fire sign, Sagittarius, maybe a Leo for some of you. When you met this person, I feel like that you were not really expecting the developments that would take between you and them. Okay, Page of Cups here typically talks about like a very passionate, romantic offer that was made to you. And I feel like that when this person entered into your life, your world kind of like turned upside down. And for a Gemini to be captivated by someone, it's not really the easiest thing. This is someone that was very charismatic, very energetic. I'm getting here a very exciting person that you really felt this connection with, okay, your twin flame. You did see a lot of similarities. I feel like, one of the things that within a twin flame connection, yes, there is going to be differences, but also it's two souls split into living in different bodies. So there is a lot of mirroring that was going on. Maybe some of you felt like the similarities and the commonalities were very obvious. So you felt a strong connection, okay? We're going to talk about this more. One of the things that I'm going to tell you before I move forward, this person seems to have been always on the go, okay? Always on the go. Like they're always everywhere. Maybe they were running away from commitment full time, whatever it was. We're going to clarify this. Now, because this is giving me player type. Now, in the present moment, you have the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Justice. You could be also dealing with the Libra. However, for many of you, you're seeking this peace. You want to make things right with your twin flame. You are not the type of sign that hold grudges, especially for the person or for the people that you truly love. Now, with some messy people who try to come against you, will you F them up? I think so, because you could be very dangerous when you are provoked, especially when somebody knows how to push your buttons. But this is somebody that you want to create peace. You do want to make things right with this person. See if there is an opportunity here, Gemini, to move forward and to embark onto a new journey. There has been a lot of challenges. I think there are still a lot of challenges. Could be legal matters, could be other things that are also affecting this relationship. We're gonna talk a lot about this. Now, in the near future, you have the Six of Swords, the Sun, and the King of Cups. I feel like in the near future, you and your twin flame are going to take a moment of silence and quietude to really sit in silence. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Before you both reunite, before there is happiness that's going to take place for you and your person, okay, with the Sun and the King of Cups, emotional happiness, emotional stability. I feel like that moving towards the springtime, there is, where I'm, it's winter, maybe it's a different season for you. But I do see here you becoming very happy this year, Gemini, in love. And a lot of you, with the Six of Swords, when it comes to your twin flame journey, many of you are letting go of someone from your past. Not your twin flame, but somebody here maybe that has kept coming back in your mind, or maybe in your aura, maybe in your field. So you're releasing something and purging maybe some people out of your life. There is a shift that's going to happen for you to energetically make room and make space, because for your twin flame specifically, you know that your twin flame needs, you need to provide a lot of space for them, okay? Because this is not an easy relationship that you have been in. It hasn't been easy. Now, for your big question marks here that we have with the High Priestess, we're going to get into your reading and we're going to see what is it that you need to know. And I did mention earlier, King and a Queen, when it comes up as the court cards here, right? And the Lovers, this is talking about a power couple dynamic. And this is about, your answers eventually your burning questions getting answered and you being very happy. Now, let's get into your reading, Gemini, and let's clarify everything for you. And I want to say thank you to that one Gemini who commented last time that she wanted to stop by and to give me a compliment about how polished, clean, neat, and organized I am in my readings. Thank you so much for noticing that. Sometimes it's those comments that it's like it really stands out that people notice it. I already know this, but it's very interesting also that a Gemini notices that and they emphasize that, okay? I like to have my place clean, neat, organized, and very detailed into my readings. We're not crazy like them other girls on the streets. We aren't messy. So I'm saying I get to the point. Now, your challenge, which is the High Priestess, is clarified by the King of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so one of the reasons why you have these big questions on your mind, because you want to address something. In this instance, you are the Queen of Swords, you are the King of Swords, and you have the King of Wands looking the other way from the Queen. This means that you both are not talking to each other. If you're a tarot reader, whether you are or you're not, just remember that there is a certain juxtaposition of tarot cards that comes out that can tell you a story. So when the King and the Queen are looking towards the opposite directions, you and this person are not talking to each other, and you don't mind actually having a conversation with this person, especially since you're a great communicator. You would want to tell this person there is something about brand new beginning. I think you would want to initiate a fresh start with this person, but some things here need to be addressed, and you might as well deal with somebody that maybe they're not an avoidant, but they might be avoiding having difficult conversations, or they just want to detour some conversations. You know it better, but I feel like this is somebody that maybe is either scared or afraid of talking about some sort of a conversation, something here that it's very important to discuss. You want to address something here. One of your questions here that you have also has to do with, is this person, do you really believe that they're going to be committing to you full-time? You want full-time commitment. That's what you want. If you had a chance here, you would definitely marry this person, okay? Because you do love them. Now, in the recent past, Gemini, you have the King of Swords, clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, the World, and the Three of Swords. In the recent past, for many of you, before you even met this person, you closed off a cycle, and then that's usually what happens with twin flames. There is this very intense chemistry and this connection. Everything starts like happening right away. Great start, and all of a sudden it falls apart. So because this person was either moving very slowly toward you, or maybe your twin flame did not close a karmic cycle in their life, therefore you and this person, it lasted very short. Everything was great, but it didn't last that long. So that's why for many of you, there was a heartbreak and a separation that you and your twin flame experienced in the past. Some of you also, Geminis, maybe you were living with this person, maybe you were living under the same household, you were sharing certain financial assets together also. Nonetheless, or maybe you even work with this person. For many of you, it was a slow process. But let's talk about the love between you and your twin flame in the recent past. Something about a body of water. Maybe you and your twin flame spend time together at the beach, or you like to go to the beach. Okay, so clarified by the Two of Wands, another body of water here, the Ace of Swords, and the Four of Wands, and the Three of Cups. I feel like you and your twin flame tried to reconcile in the past, okay? Maybe there was a conversation here about marriage, but there were also obstacles. With the Two of Wands, your twin flame could have been younger than you, could have had certain goals and dreams and vision in regards to like their career and them traveling the world and them wanting to do certain things in their own way. You kept telling this person, Gemini, what you truly wanted. You wanted a committed, loving relationship here with them. And what I'm seeing here in the recent past with the Nine of Wands, I'm getting here like an avoidant behavior here. Somebody just couldn't really commit. There was this avoidant here that took place, clarified by the High Priestess, the Three of Wands, the Three of Cups, and the Fool. So this is about you wanting to embark onto a new journey with your twin flame and reunite and commit to them. I feel like here there is this energy about your twin flame being very carefree, and no sugarcoating here. There is a possibility that someone here entered into a third-party situation. Okay, this is not going to resonate with everyone. Please use your discernment. You did want to commit to this person for marriage, but I'm getting here this person that you were dealing with, if they departed, if they went to do other things, they might have entered, okay, look at the Fool entering into the Three of Cups, into possibly a third-party situation. And at the bottom of the deck, there is the Nine of Swords. So there was a lot of stress, a lot of overthinking going on. I feel like for many of you, you kept working on your business, on yourself, whatever you were doing. But with the Moon here, a lot of you had a lot of questions. Why did this situation end this way? Was this an illusion? Was this actually a true love? Now, Queen of Pentacles for you in the present moment, I feel like you're really working on your business, Gemini. There is something here about you focusing on your career, trying to improve your financial situation. So you have the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. One of the things that I see here, Gemini, is a lot of you are feeling emotionally kind of drained and exhausted by the complete situation that has happened between you and them, but you still would not mind to give this another chance. You still wouldn't mind to give this situation another opportunity. And I think that you are waiting for communication from this person to see if they're also open to that. Part of you, Gemini, says, you know what, I feel like I'm done. I'm just going to walk away. I don't feel like this is something that I should really look forward to. And then there is part of you that says, you know what, I'm going to have a brand new beginning. I would like to have a brand new beginning. So you could be battling, kind of going back and forth, Gemini. One moment you may feel like this is what you want with this person. Next moment you feel like, you may want to move forward. And I'm going to give my genuine advice, okay, what you can look into if you are in that kind of a situation at the end of this reading. The Ace of Pentacles is clarified by the Devil, Capricorn energy, Four of Swords, and the Hermit, and you have the Five of Pentacles. Now, Gemini, before you think about everybody else, about your twin flame, about this person, about that person, this is about your own stability. Some of you are recovering from addiction. Some of you are recovering from some sort of a substance abuse. Maybe your twin flame, that they might be having an addiction. They might be tied up to something here that's super toxic. These readings that I'm doing, Gemini, this is not some foo-foo stuff. You know what I mean? And to do a twin flame reading, it takes a lot of energy for me to do this. So I really appreciate your understanding and your support, because my energy flow is very different, and I'm very grateful for you, watching this and giving me your feedback as well. Now, for many of you, there is something here super unhealthy and toxic that is being eliminated, but you're also finding healing from that. It could be also the dynamic between you and your twin flame. What is it that has been toxic? The third party situation, 15 on the timer, the third party situation, drinking, smoking, whatever it might have been that's been super toxic and unhealthy. Those are the things that are being looked into and really taken into consideration to heal. Now, there is this equality and peace that is going to be created with the justice. Something here needs to be set right. For many of you, you don't want to continue being in this place of like having a beef with your person. You know what I mean? Let's clarify the justice one more time. Clarified by the Lovers, the Six of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, because there is a strong soul connection. I don't know. I just felt like I had to reshuffle it again. The Lovers, Six of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. This person keeps coming back in your energy. This is the same Knight of Wands here that we talked about earlier. Okay, I remember all of your cards. I remember all of your readings. So, it's interesting how you constantly think about this person. For many of you, you may think about this person when you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning. Definitely a very strong mind connection here, soul connection that you have with this person. And energetically specifically speaking, you feel like this person is constantly watching you. They're constantly following you. They're constantly in your energy. And there is a lot of love. And this person, I think this is someone that truly maybe has gone out there. There is a story that comes to me from the Bible. Nothing religious. This is a metaphor about the prodigal son. The prodigal son. Whatever. The son that goes out there and does everything and realizes that it was all vanity and then comes back to the father. It's like almost this person is realizing that if they try to date other people and be entangled with a freaking third party, it was all vanity and it was all toxic. And Six of Cups here is a soul connection here, and it is also combined with the Lovers. So a strong connection here, and I think that there is this energy, there is love, there is like a lot of love up in the air that things are going to work out between you and them. Six of Swords, the Sun, and the King of Cups. And this is going to lead to, first of all, like I said in the very beginning, many of you might say, you know what, we need to take a moment. We need to sit in silence. We need to really just take a moment to understand what we're going to need to do, because instead of just rushing back, you know how like there's couples out there, they break up, make up, break up, make up. Like it's like literally 50 times a day. I don't know, like a week. That's not what you want. What you want here, and I'm not saying that was your case, but you want to take a moment of silence before, sometimes it's grief. Sometimes it's grief of the old version of this relationship that existed, because both of you are going to realize that there is many things that need to be let go of from the past. Forgiveness of a mother, someone here needs to forgive their mother or their father. Okay, and those things people say, oh, does this really matter in a relationship? Of course it does. But people grow up and they are born in certain family dynamics. They see the first relationship pattern and the first relationship role model, which is their parents, if they have any, right? And it really leaves an imprint on their subconscious mind. Oh, this is how relationships work. Oh, this is how it is done, right? So maybe there is patterns that need to be let go of. So it's like almost a tower moment. It's a death and a rebirth process. You saw this in front of you, and I know you're getting chills on your neck like Will in the Stranger Things. I'm getting chills too. The Tower, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Could be a same-sex situation, doesn't have to be. Geminis, I know you're open-minded. There is no judgment here, okay? So the Tower, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Two archetypes here. You see what I'm saying? And what does Tower indicate? If you really want to know about your twin flame journey, if you want to know about your growth, your evolution, I need to explain to you what the Tower means. The Tower here is hit by a lightning up on the tower on the crown chakra. It's hit by the lightning, and the lightning carries information. That's frequency. Frequency carries information. So something, your third eye is opening, Gemini, you're becoming more enlightened, you're understanding the meaning of this twin flame journey, how much it has actually elevated you and allowed you to move forward, okay? So this is about you and your person, King of Cups and the King of Pentacles, healing things from within and letting go of the old stuff. Like I said, this is about shedding the old skin, right? To prepare for the fire horse of the year of 2026. So a transformation here, rebirth, and this is ultimately going to lead to a lot of happiness, Gemini. You have a lot of questions here in your mind. Okay, so you have the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck and also the Page of Swords. So this is about a conversation. The Sun. I see here someone also getting pregnant in the near future, or there is going to be a child maybe being adopted or being born. The Sun is clarified by the Four of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, and the Star. Aquarius energy. Some of you might be dealing with an Aquarius. If you're an Aquarius cross-watcher, you know I tend to sometimes make the mistake. Sometimes I say Gemini, or I say Gemini a lot in an Aquarius reading. That's just because I always start off with Geminis, you know what I'm saying, as the first air sign, and then I just keep going to Aquarius and Libra. Now, in the near future, this is about a partnership, and I feel like that there is, because you both have been holding on to each other very, very tightly. The Star is here, it's a wish being fulfilled. And I think that there is something about your person's childhood that they're going to open up to you and they're going to tell you that maybe you did not know, and it's going to make sense. Everything is going to make sense as to why your person acted a certain way. Maybe some of you, it's not only just a childhood thing, but it's something about their ex-partner. They could have been in a very abusive and toxic relationship. So I'm saying, and when they tell you that, I think everything is going to start making sense, you know, for you. And you have the King of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. This is about love. You are dealing with somebody that you feel very romantic about, Gemini, and there is a lot of desire here to create more romantic moments together. The King of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Sun, and the Temperance, Sagittarius energy. There is a major turning point here. I'm getting here a 180-degree type of turning point. Like I said, the Sun here is showing up twice. Who doesn't want to see the Sun, okay? And, you know, it could be Leo. You could have Leo in your birth chart. Your person could have Leo somewhere in their placements. And you have the Temperance and the High Priestess, again, which is your challenge, right? So your big burning questions about your twin flame are going to be answered, because there is something here they're going to open up to you in regards to their past. And because you didn't really understand fully why were they holding back, what were they hiding from you? And, you know, all of the questions that you had about trust issues with the Seven of Swords, as if to why they were behaving a certain way, that's going to come to an end, because there is a turning point here and everything is going to work out in your favor with the Wheel of Fortune. There is a major turning point. It is going to be in your favor, okay? And I feel like that in the near future, you already have a lot of relationships cards coming up, especially with the twin flame. You and your person could be really getting much closer than you both used to be, because a lot of times when two people open up about their past or something very sensitive and vulnerable, it can actually strengthen the bond between the two of them. What is the relationship advice? What is the advice for you? And then I'm going to get into the relationship advice. So I'm saying, so you have the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. So Gemini, you have the Wheel of Fortune, the Fool, and the Emperor. Do you see that the Fool is the first card of the major arcana in tarot? And where is it looking at? It's looking into the Wheel of Fortune. That's where the Fool is looking, right? This is about looking to the bright future that's in front of you and knowing that everything is going to work out in your and in your twin flame's favor. Abundance, money, success. By the way, I'm going to be delivering your 2026 overall yearly forecast predictions very soon. Okay, but I do see here a Wheel of Fortune coming up a lot in your readings. It did come out here in the near future also, so you have this twice, right? So there is a lot of happiness waiting for you, Gemini. All the tears you have cried, all the hard days that you have had, it is going to come to an end. And I'm not feeding delusions. I've had some people saying, you know, I watched your readings for a few months. I thought you was feeding my delusions, but I came back to tell you that everything you said came true, and I'm back with my twin flame, and when we be about moving in together. If they make it happen, why can't you? You see what I'm saying? So the advice for you here is to literally, whatever you are manifesting, whatever you are setting your intentions into, Gemini, let it be. Let that reality be your dominant reality. Let your thoughts be about that reality, not what happened, coulda, shoulda, woulda, woulda. It is an inner knowing that you know, okay? Now let's get into your Wisdom of the Oracle message and see what do you need to know about relationship advice. So you have observer, of course you are an observer, okay, number 49, and I'm gonna see what is the relationship message here from this card. 49, observer. So sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself and in others and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. This is the exact confirmation when I was saying here, remember with the Six of Swords, I said you guys are going to take a step back. You guys are going to take a hiatus. And even here, it says that you guys, sometimes it's about the past experiences, right? And maybe the other person is not really fully aware how their words or their behaviors have affected you. So this is about extending grace towards one another and making sure that when you two get together and you get these answers to your burning questions, Gemini, and it's all going to start making sense, then you're going to see that you both are able to exit this conflict and this no contact situation with grace, okay? So this is what I had for you, dear Gemini. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that this reading helped and brought you some clarity. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.